For Christmas, every Christmas I try to make tamales, and I'm making this video for our kids so they know how to make them. This is about a pound of guajillo dried chilies. I clean them, take out all the seeds, and over here there's 2 Boston butts. You can use pork shoulder, and I put 2 whole garlics. I cut them in the middle, and 1 large onion and salt, and I let them cook until they're tender. Meat cook around 3 hours, and then let it sit until it gets cool, and then you can shred the meat. And then I am going to separate the hojas, the corn husks. I bought 4 because I'm making sweet tamales and chili tamales and jalapeno with cheese. So that should be enough. If not, well, okay. Alright, put the chilies in a pot and wash them with cold water. After they're washed, put enough water to cover them and put them to boil. When they're boiling, take them off the heat and let them sit. You can let them sit as long as you want, but do not have them boil for a while, because if not, they're going to be bitter. And here's the meat. It's already done. I'm going to shred it now. Alright, I put the corn husk, the hojas, to soak in water in a big pot, or you can put it in something big. But it has to cover the leaves, and make sure you put something heavy on the top so they can stay soaking for a while. It can take an hour or 2 hours for the corn husk to be soft. That way, you'll put the masa on there, and you won't have any issues by the corn husk the masa not sticking to the corn husk. Okay, here's the chili sitting in the water. It already boiled, and I have it just sitting here. Here's the meat. It's already cooked. Okay, and then here's the broth, and I have the pot on top of the leaves so I can press the leaves down. Do not throw the broth. You're going to need some from the masa. Let it cool down so it can be warm or room temperature, so you can put some broth on the masa. Pot, not big, but in a pot, you're going to put oil. I like oil. A lot of people like lard, but I like oil. And there's the chili, and in a little tiny pot, put 3 tomatillos and some whole cumin comino. Let it boil, and when the tomatillo gets cooked, you blend that separate. When it's blended with oil in this pot, put it in there to fry, and then you start blending the chili, and then you start putting the chili in there as well. And here's the meat. I took out all the fat. Make sure you take out all the fat, any bones, and then once the chili is fried over here, you put that meat in there. So, okay. Alright, here's the tomatillo with a comino, cumin, frying. And then I put around 4 or 5 garlic cloves. I'm going to blend them with the chili. Don't forget to use this mesh strainer to put the chili in. You don't want anything none of those little pieces in there, pieces of the chile. So you just want the puree. All right. All right, I'm starting to fry the red chili, and there's the leftover. You don't use that. You get rid of that. And here's the chili blending. All right, let the chile or chili simmer just for a few minutes. And there's the leftover. You don't want to get that in with your sauce, chili sauce. All right, and here's the meat. Well, that's the cuchara that I put on there. So once this is simmering for a few minutes, put in the meat. And I would put salt in the sauce first before you put the meat. My meat with the chile, I have it low cooking. Okay. And then this is what I'm gonna need for the masa. The masa makes the tamale because the masa is how you work it. So baking powder, masa para tamal. There you go. Lard, salt, and the broth. The masa, I cannot get it here because nobody sells it here in South Carolina. So if you're in a place or in a state that sells masa for tamales, ask for the medium, not the fine. The fine is for tortilla. Ask for the medium, or they have a more whole coarse masa. Not that one, the medium. That will work great. So I'm gonna get the masa ready. Here is the masa. There is the lard. I used about half. It's about 2 pounds, and almost a whole bag of tamal maseca. It's about 4.4 pounds. You need to put all the ingredients together. I used about 5 cups of beef broth, and you need to use the strainer so no meat goes into the masa. And then salt to taste, and then about 3 tablespoons of baking powder, 4 tablespoons of baking powder. And it has to look, and the texture has to be, see, very soft. Like, it looks like a little cloud, or like a cloud. See, that will be easy to spread on the corn husk and the hoja. All right, I'm getting ready to make the tamales. Here's the first one. See how easy that spreads on the corn husk? Make sure you leave some space and all the way to the end. See, in a thin layer, not thick. Then you put the chili in the middle. And there's my leaves, and there's another container, whatever you want to call it, to put the tamales in there. If not, you're going to get chili all over the counter. Okay? And there's my jalapeno boiling to make the jalapeno cheese tamales. All right, the tamales, the chili tamales are made. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in this pot, big olla. I don't have a tamalera, so this is what I put under. And I put my lid, and then I'm going to put foil around here, and then start stacking up the tamales. And then I'm going to make the jalapeno with cheese, and those are going to go on the top. Okay? Okay. All right. Another thing is the water. Just put water. in, but it cannot pass the lid. So keep putting water until it's close to the lid, right there. See? And I'm going to put more water. And then the steam is going to cook the tamales. All right? All right. This is how you're going to start. You see, I put that foil right there. And I already put the water under. And then you start stacking them up like this. And there you go. Okay? There's the olla full of tamales. Now I'm going to wet some towels and I'm going to put them on top. But first I'm going to put leaves. Some corn husk on top. And then wait. And then the wet rags and then foil paper. And then cover it really good. And then cook for about 2-3 hours. Okay? Bye. Product.
Finished product.
And the chile jalapeno.
Very edible. Where's my
cheese.
little ones?
I didn't make no little ones this time.
One of my best